Good afternoon and welcome to our innovation talk on future of work. My name is Luke Dobrinski. I'm a Vice President of Strategic Planning and Future of Work. And shortly I will be joined by two of my colleagues, Paul Gerald, Distinguished Engineer, and Abhi Singh, Senior Director of Future of Work. Our team within Cisco works across the enterprise to design, build, and ensure commercial success of cross-architectural offers like hybrid work. We are super excited to be here today and share with you our perspective on the space, and then showcase some of the technology that enables hybrid work experience. Our presentation today will be broken into three sections. I will briefly talk about trends, what companies are looking for from solutions, and then why we believe you should start on your transformation journey now. We'll pass it to Paul, who will walk you through a life in the day in the life of an employee, how the technology supports and enables employees moving seamlessly through the space from home to office and anywhere in between. And then Abhi will walk us through how we leverage technology in the next generation offices, and then we'll spend a little bit of time about the offers that are in the market now, which we hope we will get excited about. What are some of the trends that we see in the industry? Well, first of all, coming out of pandemic, everybody's trying to figure out their future strategy for hybrid work. One thing seems to be true is that people are not coming back to the office 100%. And we believe that's the trend that will stay. So hybrid work is here, and it's here to stay. As fewer people are coming back to the office, what's happening naturally, there's a contraction of office space. You just need less space. We see there's different numbers floating out there, but we see something in the realm of north of 30%. Cisco manages 18 million square foot around the globe, 370 locations, over 87 countries. We see it internally and we see it with our customers that the space is contracting. Now, at the same time as the space is shrinking, there is a change in the DNA of the space. There is a shift from traditional me space to we spaces. And we see the split of like 30 to the 70. So there is no more assigned seating, my desk, my specific space. There is more room designed for collaboration, innovation, team working. And it's also flexible, meaning that I book it on demand. So it's first come, first serve, and that flexibility allows you to actually manage smaller space with the same number of employees. Now, the implication of it is you need to get smarter about managing the space, because suddenly space becomes utility and you have to match the supply and demand. So all the things around digitization of your real estate, all the data that you're collecting from the access points, from your collaboration devices is being fed to the central place, but then you have to have a capabilities analytics to actually analyze this and drive real-time decisions. What we also see is flight to quality. So in all of it is, we see that upgrade in terms of the experience that we try to deliver to our employees. And this is not just true for office, it's also true for home, and it's true on employees on the go. So what our customers are looking for, clearly it will always be true, quality products and services, but that's not good enough. As the complexity of the environment and the solutions grows, we need to make it even more simpler to use, with the right features, functionality. It needs to be simple to deploy. And more we hear conversations about one-stop shop solutions that are much easier, faster, able to be deployed. That obviously has implication on integration, not just between the technologies that go into solution, but ability to operate in a brownfield environment, integrate with existing infrastructure. And then the last piece, which is more wrap around the technology, is the flexibility around pricing, buying programs, licensing. Once you start putting together cross-architectural offers, that becomes even more important. And as we design solutions, we keep all those things in mind to make it easier for customers to buy and for our partners and sellers to sell. We also innovate in a space. Today we won't have enough time to do justice and go in depth in all of these areas, but those are some of the areas where Cisco is investing and innovating, and hybrid work end-to-end solutions are consuming those capabilities. Let me just give you a couple of examples of the innovation. On the smart buildings, it's everything around the digitization of the real estate. I talked about ability to collect all the data from the access points, from collaboration devices. All of that becomes the digital footprint of your real estate, which then allows you to manage it more efficiently, more effectively. On sustainability, examples of that are low voltage PoE, things that allow you to drive more energy efficiency. In our office in New York, which is just one floor, it's around 42,000 square feet, we see energy savings in realm of 47% before and after implementing the next generation technology. On collaboration, I hope you had the opportunity to talk to some of our colleagues from Cola, but everything around smart audio, AI empower, voice cancelling, all things around hologram. Those are all the future things that will help us augment the reality and make the collaboration experience even better. Security, passwordless application access, and AI that allows you to detect security risks before they actually take place. All of this is part of our ecosystem of end-to-end hybrid work. Visibility. You probably have seen some of the announcements around 1,000 Eyes. We're trying to go beyond not just managing technology, but also monitoring experience of our employees at home and in office. So then your IT department can actually pinpoint where the issue is and constantly can improve on that experience. Connectivity, things around Wi-Fi 7, 8, all of those things are coming, as well as smart integration of the PoE sensors, all of those things that we integrate into the end-to-end solution. So why now? First of all, as I mentioned, we believe the hybrid work is here to stay. So there's no coming back, in our opinion, so you may as well lean into it and start working towards it. Employees' experience or expectations have changed. Much higher. Your expectations have changed. You know what good looks like. You know what the experience could be like. We have to deliver against those experiences. That feeds into employee retention. It obviously supports employee satisfaction. It supports the productivity. But that's one of the levers that we absolutely have to deliver on. But it's more than just experience. We see more and more cost pressures. It's the macroeconomic trends, obviously in Europe, the energy prices, all of that is putting pressure on the cost savings that also needs to be delivered. So experience and cost savings. I mentioned efficiency of operating in office, but there is also savings that comes with CapEx, with deploying the solution itself, and then you have the efficiencies of managing the real estate. All of that drives or helps to drive cost savings. It takes time to get there. Now, yes, with the offer, which Abhi will touch on shortly, we did templatize it. We're creating a Lego block, so it gives you flexibility of deploying it in totality or in elements. We created reference architecture, design guides, how-to guides. So in essence, you know what makes up great experience. We know it's working because we deploy Cisco validated framework. However, on the customer side, you know it will take time because it's no more conversation with just IT, traditional IT. Now you have the real estate facilities at the table. You have HR. All those conversations also bubble up to CIO, CTO. Aligning that across the even customer footprint and the stakeholders takes time. Finally, quality solutions are here. We believe the technology is here and it's ready to be consumed. And we believe that there's no need to reinvent the wheel. We have the technology to enable you, so I encourage you to engage our team and our colleagues here to see what's available and how Cisco can support you. Now let me pass to Paul, who is now going to walk you through how the technology actually works in practice.
Thank you, Luke. Appreciate it. So I'm going to take you through the day of life of a typical hybrid worker. This is Alicia. You might be able to relate to Alicia. She works in the office sometimes. She works at home sometimes. She works in a coffee shop sometimes. She's traveling, and sometimes she works at a customer site. How many of you can relate to that today? Yeah, right? Everybody's working hybrid today. And let me take you through a day in the life of Alicia. Now, you could probably also relate to the IT team that needs to support Alicia, because you're here at Cisco Live, you're probably IT professionals, and you have to support workers like Alicia who need to work anywhere they want. But it's not just Alicia moving everywhere, it's Alicia's applications, it's her data, it's your enterprise applications. Everything is moving from that data center that you used to control, and you had a firewall, and you made sure that everything was very well controlled and your employees were on site. Well, that's no longer. Your applications are everywhere, your data is everywhere, your employees are everywhere. So you need to manage this new reality of this evolving perimeter of IT. Now, in practice, we keep talking about hybrid work. But what is work? We keep talking about the three places people work, right? At home, in the office, on the road, anywhere else. But what is work? Let's peel that onion a little bit and understand what we're talking about. For many employees today, work really is dealing with SaaS applications. So you might be working on Office documents or Google Docs or something in Salesforce. So work is dealing with SaaS applications. You've also deployed applications in your enterprise, but as well as in the public cloud or in a private cloud. So these applications, again, are everywhere, and work often involves dealing with these applications. Now, how do you access those applications? Well, more and more often you access these applications over the public internet. You don't have that tight control of putting all your applications behind a firewall and protecting them and making sure that they're safe. So how do we make sure that Alicia can access these applications safely and securely while protecting your data at the same time? So Alicia's company has rolled out Duo for multi-factor authentication. And Alicia used to work at a different company before, and she didn't really care for multi-factor authentication a whole lot because she found it annoying. She had to get text messages and then copy codes left and right all over the place. And see, raise a hand, who loves passwords? Yeah, said nobody, right? Nobody likes passwords. So Duo makes it a lot easier to, more frictionless for Alicia to actually get through her day while still protecting your data, because Duo has a lot of intelligence that it allows the multi-factor authentication to authenticate you when it needs to, but not bother the employee when it doesn't have to. And with our innovations in passwordless technology, we will get to the point where just her fingerprint or just a face scan will allow her to authenticate with an application without having to type a password at all. So passwordless is an area that we're really excited about. But work is not just Office applications or Salesforce. Work also involves collaboration. It also involves meeting with other employees, either in person or virtual. And her company has also rolled out the WebEx suite that allows her to chat with other employees, video conference, and have meetings. So she's having a chat conversation, and instantly within the WebEx app, she's able to have a video conversation, high quality, very great experience. Also, her employer sent her a WebEx camera as well to make sure she has the highest quality video experience as well. So she's having a conversation, and outside, so she's at home. So outside, they're blowing leaves outside, right? And she apologizes. She said, "I'm so sorry, there's a lot of noise outside." But the person she's talking to has no idea that's going on, because WebEx Smart Audio technology has completely removed all that background noise. And it's not just when you're at home, it's when you're at a coffee shop or you're at the airport and you're having a call. Smart Audio makes conference calls incredibly more inclusive, because you can actually participate in this call instead of having to be on mute and being worried, I'm not going to unmute myself because then I'm going to disturb everyone. Smart Audio is really revolutionary, and this is just one of the very small list of long innovations that we have in the collaboration space. So they're having a call, and all of a sudden, they need to bring in a third person into this call and have a meeting and share content. How would you do this typically? Well, all right, I'm going to send you an invite for a meeting, and then we'll call back in, and we'll meet up after this meeting. It's very cumbersome, takes a long time, but that's not a problem with WebEx, because they can just click Invite at Meet at the bottom of this screen, and instantly they're in a full-blown WebEx meeting without having to send an invitation, without having to do a calendar invite, nothing. One button, you're in a full-blown WebEx meeting, you can share content, you get the full noise removal, everything is there to allow Alicia to collaborate with her employees. So great, great experience for her. And this is just one of the many pieces of the WebEx suite. WebEx suite allows Alicia to have calling, meetings, messaging. She can have large events and webinars for training her teams. She can have polling when she goes to a customer site and she wants to have a more interactive discussion with her employees. All of these are enabled through the WebEx suite. And I could spend hours here telling you about all the functionality in WebEx suite, but this is what enables her to collaborate regardless of where she is. Now, Alicia has to balance her work life, right? She's a hybrid worker, she's at home, she's having coffee, and on her work laptop, she happens to be checking her personal email. And she gets an email from her friend Sam, who they had dinner last night and they were talking about painting her house. Or Sam says, hey, I'll send you this link for the company we use. They have a coupon on their website. And she sends this, but you might notice there's a misspelling in the link there, and she didn't type painting correctly in that link. So when Alicia clicks on that link, what happens? It gets blocked because it's a malicious website. Now, before you had control over your employees when they were in the office, and you had that firewall, and it was protecting everyone. But now she's clicking links at home. Are you going to put a firewall in everybody's house? I mean, you might want to do that, but what if she's in the airport? So Cisco Umbrella is protecting Alicia's laptop to make sure that she's protected from malware threats regardless of where she is. And these threats are real. They're really big. Right? We're talking about almost $4 million for an average breach. And 52% of attacks are caused by malicious actors, but what is the other 48% then? Non-malicious, so things like this where somebody accidentally clicks on a link or accidentally does something that they probably shouldn't have done and gets themselves in trouble. So Umbrella is going to protect Alicia regardless of where she is and regardless of where she goes. And 90% of all malware does use DNS in some way, so DNS security from Umbrella protects you at least from 90% of all those attacks, which is a great start. Now, I don't know how many people are here, maybe about 100, so 68 of you are not watching your DNS. That's not a good thing, right? You need to be watching your DNS to make sure and monitoring it to make sure that you are permitting access to sites that are not malicious. All of this is backed by Cisco Talos. Cisco Talos is the largest security intelligence and threat intelligence organization on the face of the planet. They see 2 billion pieces of malware every day. Billion with a B. So we have all of this intelligence that's not feeding just into Umbrella, but all of our other security solutions at Cisco as well. Now, Alicia might need to go and access some legacy application that's sitting in her enterprise data center. And to do that, she uses our Cisco Secure Client. You might know it as AnyConnect. And she's able to VPN and access that application securely, very easily. Her company has implemented secure certificate-based authentication, so she doesn't even have to type a login. She just clicks a button, and she gets into the enterprise very easily. But AnyConnect, or Cisco Secure Client, is much more than just VPN. Cisco Secure Client integrates all of our security portfolio into it and allows for things like ICE posture checking and net flow collection and the ability to monitor what your employees are doing even when they're not on VPN. Now, one day she has a poor meeting experience. Something is going wrong with her internet connection, or maybe her ISP is having an issue, or maybe there's something wrong with WebEx, who knows? So she calls her IT department. How does IT help somebody who is sitting at home? Well, that's where the ability to use WebEx Control Hub and diagnose the issue comes into play. So with WebEx Control Hub, we get full visibility into all the experiences of their users. And not only do we have WebEx Control Hub, but we actually have an integration between that and our Thousand Eyes endpoint agent, which is running on Alicia's laptop. The Thousand Eyes endpoint agent allows for employees to quickly cross-launch and look at the exact moment she was having that poor experience in a WebEx meeting and see the root cause of that problem through Thousand Eyes. This is a great integration, and if you don't have this already, and you're using WebEx, you should definitely take a look at this because it makes troubleshooting significantly easier. Now, the Thousand Eyes endpoint agent is not just for troubleshooting meetings. It actually gives you visibility into the entire employee experience, and it turns your entire base of employees into distributed nodes throughout the internet that are providing you data about how that experience is going regardless of where they are. And it's not just Thousand Eyes that's giving visibility. We also have additional capabilities through Meraki Systems Manager that I'll tell you about. But one day she goes out and she goes to a SharePoint site from a customer. She clicks on a PDF, and what happens? There's malware. Well, that malware is protected through the Cisco Secure Endpoint client that's running on Alicia's machine to make sure that she does not have, that she's protected from any downloads that occur on her machine. And as I mentioned, we also have Meraki Systems Manager running on that machine. That allows IT the visibility of what's happening on her machine, allows them to support her, and allows them to monitor and maintain and upgrade all that software, but delivered from the cloud. So regardless of where Alicia is, her IT organization can make sure that her machine is up to date and safe. So in the end, in practice, we have a variety of different products that are running on Alicia's laptop. But when Alicia makes her way into the office, there's a different experience that she wants to have to augment that. And to tell you about that, I'm going to hand it over to Abhi.
Good afternoon. So I'm really excited today to share with you, amongst all these trends and with all this technology, what Cisco does as a company for our own employees and create a best-in-class hybrid work experience. So let's dive right into it. The way we see the world around hybrid work is we want to make sure our employees are able to work from home, work from office, and anywhere seamlessly. Now, to some extent, we already had these capabilities, and when pandemic hit, and we had to transition the next day, everybody working remotely, it happened seamlessly for us. But at that time, we also realized that this is a trend that is here to stay. So we have to get better at it. So now, when a new employee joins Cisco, we have an option to send them a pre-packaged hybrid work kit. What does this kit have? It has all the hardware, including their laptop, video endpoint, everything that they need to have a home office. But also all the amazing software capabilities that Paul just talked about, all of that is already pre-provisioned in this kit. So with that, there's no longer someone has to install the software and wait. They can be productive right away. And most of this software is actually delivered from the cloud, and we are able to now monitor the digital experience of our employee. So if somebody's having a problem at home, we can tell whether it's the SP, their home internet, or if it's an application issue. So this is around home and anywhere. Now let's go to the office. As we thought, okay, now we have to redesign our offices for this new environment. People go to the offices to collaborate. They do not go there for dedicated workplaces because they already have a home office where they can work in a quiet environment. So we are looking for 4 business outcomes. The first one is agile experience. For anybody that goes into the office, they should be able to use the office for what they need, whether it's a meeting, it's an innovation session, whatever they need, right? The second one is we want to work towards a sustainable future. We want to operate our offices and achieve the carbon neutral footprint and participate in the circular economy. The third one is when you come to your office, if you're our guest, if you're an employee, we want to make sure we positively impact your health and wellness. And the fourth one that we are going to spend the most time on today is actually digitization of real estate that becomes a very core tenet that even helps with the first 3. So how do we do that? We go into an office and see, okay, what do we already have? We have the network devices, we have the video endpoints, we have cameras. They all serve a purpose, but also in addition to it, they also have amazing sensors embedded. We can know how many people are in the building. Where are they in the building? We understand what's the air quality, what's the humidity. And with all this data, we can now superimpose that on a digital floor plate. So most of your buildings currently have an AutoCAD drawing. We take that and then convert them into a virtual floor plate. And then now we have a very good digital presence of your building. What we also do, we convert whatever we need power to and see if we can actually power this device using power over Ethernet using low voltage. So now all of a sudden think about all the copper that is saved, all the labor cost that is saved in actually bringing it up there. And then we are able to control these blinds, these lights, everything through our networking equipment. Because we have space to put a small container in there so to now control all these devices. And when these principles are actually applied in practice, we achieve case studies like our office in New York. So we created this office of the future. During the pandemic, it took us 2 years. It's a 42,000 square feet office. It's one floor in a skyscraper. And what we did is we redesigned it completely. And as Luke was saying, it went from dedicated offices and only 16 conference rooms to 92 collaboration spaces and no dedicated workspaces. There are some hot desks there where you can work independently, but mostly it's for around collaboration. And in this office of the future, we connected all the lights, all the blinds through power over Ethernet, and we basically removed a lot of copper that we don't need anymore. And when we did that, we were able to leverage a lot of sensors that were already there. We also installed new sensors. So in total, we are basically in this 42,000 square feet building, we are collecting about 5,000 data points per second. And with that data, we can now making intelligent choices on how we operate this building. Our energy usage went down. So in the long term, we're going to save a lot of money and work towards a sustainable future. But at the same time, even in the capital expenditure, we saved money because we didn't have to get labor to install those circuits or electricity. And actually, as we are sitting here in Rye, all these access points that you see on the ceiling, they're all powered over Ethernet. So these are the principles that are already being used by our customers. So let's go a little bit deeper into how this happens. So first, if you go into a space, you can see, okay, I have all these sensors that are already there if you're already using Cisco technology, and how I can use that. The second thing you do, you upload your building drawings, and then these static drawings now become a virtual digital floor plate. Now you say, okay, I got some data points, but I actually want a sensor for some specialized reason. Great, we could do that. We go to our marketplace and then install more sensors on more information that we need. Then we say, okay, now we got everything. Now let's make sure everything is placed accordingly in this virtual floor plate. And now you have a digital way to control this building. Now this enables a lot of different use cases. One of the use cases that you see today on the board is around digital signage. So currently it's live environment within our New York office where someone can go in and see this building in a digital fashion. They can book rooms, they can understand the layout of the building, and really interact with this space in a very efficient way. So no longer you're wasting time walking around the office trying to see if the conference room is busy or not, or basically a lot of time wasted around that is gone away, and it contributes towards your health and wellness because you can see how the space is being used. But also, all this data can also be fed into your building management system, like Honeywell, Schneider, and now based on the occupancy of the space, you can make intelligent choices in an automated way on how you choose to operate your building. And we are actually demonstrating these solutions right now on the show floor. So net-net is this. We have spent a lot of time in coming up with these things. It took us 2 years to create the Cisco Pen 1 office. So we said, how can we now take this information and provide that in an easy-to-consume way to our customers? So let's go from top to bottom. So all the amazing software that Paul talked about is now all inclusive in an EA 3.0 portfolio that is delivered at a very aggressive pricing in a per user, per month fashion. So all the capabilities you can consume from one enterprise agreement. The second one I want to talk about is work from office. this is where we looked at the Pen 1 office, and we said, OK, if you have to build a similar office, and by the way, every customer that has a tour, they say, how can I build it? We created design guides around this, a solution builder approach, and Lego blocks. So you can see, OK, I have already 2 things. I need to buy these 3 things, and bring it together, and you have the same experience like the Cisco Pen 1. And now, if you want to extend this experience into the home, so your workers actually have the same experience of high-end video collaboration at home and security, you can now buy one of the work-from-home kits. So with that, learn more about these offers on our booth or go to our website. Thank you so much for spending time with us and being a Cisco customer. Thank you.